Welcome!
Welcome
to the Apple Mouth Pod! So, welcome to another episode of the Apple Mouth Podcast. My name is Blake.
And my name is Belle.
And I guess the first question of the night is going to be, what kind of music you been listening to recently?
K-pop.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
I don't think there's any other... I don't think there's any other reoccurring genre in my life other than K-pop. For as long as I can remember, I've always just been a K-pop stan.
Is it mainly just... Okay, is the main appeal the girls and the choreography?
At the beginning, no. It wasn't. It was genuinely the music.
Okay.
That I really liked how upbeat it was. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you read the lyrics, they're really sad. But they're still dancing and smiling like the lyrics aren't sad. And it's a really good way to kind of hype you up and kind of put that pep back in your step.
So would you say you're the type of person whose mood gets affected by what they listen to? Or is it backwards? Is it more like you listen to what your mood has said already?
I don't know, actually. Maybe. I don't know. Because sometimes I can be really, really happy, but my genre just wants to listen to sad music.
But does it bring you down as well, or
no? It doesn't. I can listen to Pills and
by Joji.
Yeah, or what's his first EP?
In Tongues.
Oh, In Tongues.
Yeah.
I can listen to In Tongues and Ballads 1.
Yeah.
And not be sad. But if I am sad, it will let me be sad.
Right.
You know?
Because you mentioned the whole the fact that being upbeat was what appealed to you at first, right?
Right, yeah. Does the same thing happen to you when you do Does the music you listen to actually affect your mood?
Normally, no.
But
every now and then, there'll be a certain song or a certain line from lyrics that...
Does it just trigger you?
It'll trigger an involuntarily, sad boy moment. Especially, Linkin Park or something. That'll just,
Alright, let's take a sip for the homie who couldn't be here. Cheers, brother.
But normally the music doesn't affect my mood until it's some deep hitting sad shit. And
sorry, go ahead.
And it's not like every time that a certain song plays it'll happen.
Right.
There's just certain times of the day where my mood will be it'll be in in a transition state.
What do you mean by that?
So I feel like there's my brain and emotions will be on neutral if
it could get easily swayed, or
yeah,
you just okay.
Yeah. But the only thing that triggers is the sad shit.
Is it kind of the thing where you have a really good day and then something bad happens and your mood just goes from happy to neutral? Or?
No, it's more of when I'm in autopilot mode.
Oh.
And I'm not thinking about anything.
Gotcha.
And I'm just a neutral.
Gotcha.
And then
okay.
Maybe 8 songs in my queue will be some relatively sad or negative vibes.
Slow dancing in the dark.
Well, that's one example, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to allude to metal and shit too.
I don't want to waste my time.
Well, okay, good example. If we're gonna stick with the Joji stuff,
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna go into metal. Honestly.
Well, the song from Pink Guy or the Pink album,
right?
She's So Nice, right? When it starts off, it's this really abrasive,
right?
Offensive, yeah, fucked her in the mouth and I fucked her in the tits. It's really off color,
right?
And then the chorus will hit or the hook will hit, and it's just she's so nice, and it becomes kind of Joji-esque, right?
Yeah.
And
Chloe Burbank.
Yeah, exactly. And there's that part in the second half where it goes, I treat her badly, but she comes back every time.
Yeah.
It goes to show that none of these hoes is worth a dime.
Yeah.
Like, that line when I first heard it, and like
Casually
it really
slips in that I can sing. Go ahead.
Okay. The first time I heard that hook,
Right,
was like, it kind of brings you back to that 14-year-old
oh,
self of like,
yeah,
there's a sense of hopelessness in it that just like comes out, where it's like, even though I put effort
yeah,
into like trying to make something happen, even if, you know, some of those feelings are reciprocated,
right,
in the end they're all just the same, which is like some real sad boy shit of like,
yeah,
hopelessness and dread of like, there's no hope for any connection, like any
Right.
meaningful connection.
ah,
And I wasn't expecting that when I heard, because it's the Pink Guy album.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
here for
yeah.
the memes.
yeah,
You know, I'm just here to laugh and
Right.
like listen to some bopping like beats
yeah,
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and comedy. But like
right.
out of nowhere, just this whole like,
Just that hook got you.
yeah, it reminds me of being like a high schooler after like a failed relationship of like, even when things were good, there was no actual connection.
What makes you say that there was no actual connection?
So, to give context, I've only had one girlfriend and it was in high school.
Gotcha.
And when I was with her, it definitely felt like it was just, oh, I'm a high schooler. This is what high schoolers do. I need to have a girlfriend. Like, it was all about the label.
Oh, so you basically both just said yes because you wanted to have that label just to kind of fit in?
I think so. At least on my side, that was where I was coming from.
Gotcha.
Not so much to fit in. I was just like, this is what I should be doing at this age.
Anime, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess. Well, even without anime, like, my family were always watching romantic comedies, so, like, that was already
Yeah.
ingrained in my head. Of,
Oh.
like, this is the proper way to spend your time, you know?
Gotcha.
Be chasing that tail, son.
Be chasing that tail, son. What got you into K-pop? Actually, okay. What was the very first music video you remember watching?
U-Kiss had a song called Bingle Bingle, and I had no idea
Fucking boomer.
I had no idea what Korean sounded like
Right.
at all. Because
Yeah.
growing up, it was just all Japanese stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
That was the only like other culture that
Right.
I was interested in.
Right.
So listening to Bingle Bingle, like, it's such a weird sounding language, and I've never seen like these boy bands that just look so small, and like
Right.
they look like they look like this person I knew who I always pictured as like just being super timid, or like super like kind of a people pleaser,
Right.
like low testosterone, more on like, I'm like, I want everyone to like me.
Yeah.
You know, that's the vibe I got from U-Kiss.
Right. Oh my god.
And it started from a classmate of mine in high school saying that she was obsessed with this boy band. Mm-hmm. So I decided to give it a chance. And
Was it a girl you liked or just a classmate?
to a certain degree, yeah.
Okay.
Like, interested in, at least.
Or pursuing. Or
Not yet pursuing, just more of like, it'd be cool if
Oh, okay,
she'd
gotcha.
be down. But
okay. So that was why you looked into U-Kiss?
yeah, just seeing how like obsessed she was with it was like, okay, well,
Oh, you kind of wanted to see the hype?
yeah, she was being a fangirl, and like I definitely identified with that because I'd always seen myself as a fanboy for like Slipknot
Yeah.
and Green Day.
Yeah, the
So-
numbers 1 through 9.
Yeah, exactly, just like SNSD,
Or 0 to 8, actually.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 9 of them,
Yeah.
or they were at the time. But anyways, so I listened to it, and I've been pretty heavy into Daft Punk too.
Right.
So I was familiar with dance music, and it was cool to see dance music interpreted from a culture that I didn't know much about.
Right.
And I was wondering, the thing that really got to me was like, how come these girls in the Philippines are going crazy over it? Like, they don't understand what they're talking about. They'd have to look up the lyrics.
Right.
You know, even when people talk down or talk bad about metal,
Right.
everyone's like, oh, they're screaming all the time. You can't even understand what they're saying.
Right.
And yet you're over here listening to K-pop, like, you know what the fuck they're saying all the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you got to look up the lyrics.
Right.
Like I was thinking of like, well, in metal it's the same thing. You gotta look up the lyrics.
Right.
You know, so that's what kind of intrigued me. Was like, why is this becoming a thing now? Because I'd heard of SNSD. I'd seen like glimpses of music
Right.
videos,
Tiffany, please marry me. Uh-huh.
and I think in the recommended after watching Bingle Bingle was the SNSD music video for O,
Hey.
and I
As you should, son.
just imagine a 14-year-old straight male seeing these cute ass Asian girls in
Right.
tight shorts in cheerleader outfits.
That's hard to beat.
It's.
I'm of course being very biased.
I remember thinking too, like, aren't they just strippers? Like, this is like what strippers do.
Aren't they just the Asian version of the Pussycat doll?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, but there's a certain innocence to them too.
Yeah,
where, like,
yeah.
The appeal of SNSD and K-pop at the time was girls can like it because they're cute and
It's something to
they're wearing
work
cute,
towards, or like aspire to be them almost.
they're wearing cute outfits,
Right.
and the dance moves aren't so provocative.
Yeah.
So that it's like still kind of like it's fun to do, like the whole G, that
Yeah.
iconic moment in G where
the crab walk.
yeah, the weird
Yeah.
weird like sideways thing, right?
Yeah. I
Like,
got you.
Stuff like that. I could see girls being into that, but then dudes obviously would be into it because it's like it's a catchy tune, and there's these cute Asian girls
Right.
that like. I mean, before K-pop, the only like girl idols that people would see were J-pop idols, and they
Right.
were very much more into like high tech, like visuals and like light shows type stuff.
Right.
And there's choreography, but like
Not K-pop.
I feel like
extent.
K-pop really emphasized the group choreography.
Yeah.
I'd always imagine like when I see dance videos, if you put like balls of light on their wrists, on their elbow, on their shoulder,
They
and basically just outlining their limbs and their whole
Right.
body, it would look like a really cool light show.
Right. Yeah.
And it only works when the choreography is done well. And even like you can really tell when producers and choreographers would really hit the ball was like when they would incorporate moves that every member needs to contribute to make this visual thing happen.
Right.
And it kind of goes to show like they're a team. It's
Yeah.
like it's almost like a esports team too.
Yeah, they're a group.
They're a group. They have their positions. They have their roles.
Yeah.
You have the leader. You have the rapper. You have the main dancer or something. Right?
Yeah, you have the vocals.
Mhm.
Right.
And that coupled with like just this infectious dance music
Right.
was like it's something that I hadn't seen before. And
Mm-hmm.
I was noticing that like online there was a lot of overlap with metal fans and certain K-pop groups.
Such as.
So I think there's a certain respect for the craft.
Mm-hmm.
With metal, it's like all about what's the word I'm looking for? When you're virtuoso, right? Virtuosity, I guess, is the word
Mm-hmm.
of the guitar players and especially the drummers if they're
Like
doing,
technique heavy?
exactly,
almost?
yeah,
Okay.
just all technique and making it sound good and formulating it like an
Yeah.
orchestra almost, like it sounds like classical music.
Yeah, but with metal though, don't you kind of need to a certain degree know how to play an instrument for you to appreciate something like that, or
It helps, I'm sure, because as a guitarist I was like, man, I can't do that, I wish I could. It
Yeah.
sounds badass.
right?
But like there's plenty of metalheads that don't play any music and they're just in it for the
Oh, gotcha.
the vibe or the atmosphere.
Okay, so the overlap you're talking about is basically musicians who listen to metal and got into K-pop, or just metalheads in general, regardless of knowing how to play an instrument.
It's
going
more
into
of like
K-pop.
if you're willing to go out there and test your boundaries and go out of your comfort zone to
Right.
get into metal, and then you find appreciation for it, of like, oh wow, it's like really high level musicianship and
Right,
and
right.
crazy arrangements. It's not always a pop song structure.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of like classical type arrangements going on too.
Right.
And if you're that kind of person, you're also probably the type of person to try something new and get out of your comfort zone and realize, oh, this K-pop stuff is really cool. It has the the earworm type of like catchy
Right.
pop song structures, but also you really appreciate the choreography
Right.
and the fact that there's cute girls involved makes it easy
Right.
to get into. It's easy to watch, you know.
Yeah. Easy on the eyes
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
and on the ears.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's yeah, on multiple levels of your senses. It's all just sweet things.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
like, and I think too, there's this need for balance when you listen to music. Like metal is definitely like it's almost like an attack on your senses of like it's super loud. The lyrics are typically in a dark tone and it's stimulating.
Right. Simulating how?
Well, I mean, the louder something is, the more it demands your attention, right?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
So like all this loud stuff is going on, and at first it just sounds like white noise or like some really abrasive, unpleasant noises.
Right.
But then like as a musician or just someone who can like really try to pay attention to what they're hearing, you start
Right.
picking out the nuances of like of the beats that the drummer's choosing to make
Right.
or what kind of styles they're trying to go for, and then you compare that to the lyrics and everything, and it just makes this one big package of like anti-authority,
Basically punk on steroids.
yeah, it's like punk. It's got that punk sensibility, but also like the virtuosity of classical music.
Oh, that's a great way to put it, actually.
That's what metal is like. At least for me, that's what metal was about. Was
Yeah.
it's like it's a bunch of attitude, and also it reins in. It's not just like strumming up and down as hard and fast as you can.
Right.
It's like really minute wrist movements to like get
Yeah.
a certain sound out of your strings.
It's almost like playing the violin.
Yeah, like imagine
There's-
like tremolo picking,
Yeah.
where you just strum up and down really really fast,
Right.
and then you're doing all these crazy scales on it, and
Right.
that's your soloing.
Yeah.
And you compare that to like violinists doing crazy solos and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of that, and there's a grand kind of like structure to it. Like the songs are typically pretty long, like 5 minutes to 8 minutes.
Yeah. There's a violinist that I really have come to respect, and her name's Hilary Hahn. And just seeing all the things that she's accomplished technical wise and musically, she's a freaking beast, dude. That like she's just able to do so much crazy things that like I can't even comprehend. That like she can play while doing pizzicato on different other notes, and it still sounds so clean and so crisp.
What does pizzicato mean?
Basically when you're plucking the string, but she's doing it while she's doing the bow, so her left hand or like her her fingers on her left are plucking plucking the strings.
Oh right, yeah.
While she's playing.
It's kind of like sometimes guitarists will like use both hands to tap notes.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that. And like she still delivers, all the notes are so even and so concise, and she makes it look so effortless. But the technique is so freaking hard.
That's how you know the mastery is there. When it looks easy. Whenever something looks easy and you know it's not, it's like that person just mastered it to the point where like they can do it in their sleep.
Yeah, and she's a beast, dude. Like I have mad respect for her, and I aspire to be someone like her. Like as a person who used to play classical music, I want to pick it up again, and actually strive for people like her. And it's crazy that like I don't know, I just have freaking so much mad respect for her.
You know what helped too, probably, of bridging that gap was at some point I'd gotten into Japanese metal.
Right.
And a lot of their stuff does have like dance elements, or if not dance, more just electronic music elements to it.
Right.
And as far as performers, the J metal like bands go all out when it comes to performance. Like they have the hair, they have the outfits, they have their whole like inner member banter and everything. Everything's like a really well prepared show.
Right.
And they know one of the skills of a good J metal band is they know how to get their crowd to do what they want.
Right.
And you'll see it in like even like J-pop videos. Like the crowds are like they'll have like light sticks and they're
Right.
chanting along, "Hey, hey," with along with the
Right.
beat and everything.
Like, one of the things I love about K-pop and watching the live performances
Yeah.
are the fanboys and the fangirls that for every member that they just absolutely adore, they'll either chant the name or they'll sing along to the lyrics or they'll do the callback.
Yeah, yeah.
And to me, that is the best, most wholesome way to encourage your artists.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so cool. And then, like, just seeing, I guess, for someone who's been standing Geo from Twice, one of the Twice members, she was one of the least favorite members. She was one of the members that had the least fans.
In Asia? Or just everywhere?
No, just in Twice, just in the group.
What the heck?
Right?
She's the only one that I recognize.
Dude! Gio, if you can hear me. Please. But anyway, like, she
Step
went...
on me.
I give you consent. Choke and cuddle me.
Oh my
Anyway,
god.
no, so she went from one of the members that had the least fans to one of the members that had the most fans. And
Was it because from her performances?
to be honest, I don't really know. Like, I only know this through my cousin, through my cousin Cher, and she has been bestowing all the knowledge she has about Twice, and she's been giving them to me. And I feel really blessed and thankful that, like, she's able to talk to me about stuff like that.
Okay.
And anyway, I kind of came into the whole Twice movement when Geo is basically not at her prime, but she's the best she's ever been. That she power lifts and she eats whatever she wants. She's an amazing vocalist. She's a great dancer. And she's just an all-around team player. And she's kind of she's the middle member of the group. Which I'm kind of seeing a pattern here. Because in both my biases, Tiffany and Gio, they're both the middle. They're somehow the middle. That age-wise, Gio's the middle, but height-wise, Tiffany's the middle. And they both kind of, in a way, take care of the group. That, like, when things go wrong, all the members look to Gio. That even the oldest, Nyan, no one ever thinks of her as the leader. It's always Gio. And same with Tiffany. When Taeyeon kind of got busy with her schedule when she was touring Korea, Tiffany basically stepped up and started taking care of the members and stuff like that, and just making sure they were okay. And when Jessica left, her and Tiffany got really, really close.
So I noticed you're definitely the type of fangirl to like notice and like look for all those interpersonal stuff.
Yeah,
Like you're looking into personality of the idols.
Yeah.
And like really appreciating the things that you see.
Yeah. And you know what bias breakers are?
Go ahead. I'm not too certain on what I think it is, but
I don't either, but with how Cher said it, was that you have a bias.
Yes.
And
for one of the members.
Yeah, for the member. So my bias is Tiffany. And in SNSD, my bias breaker would be Yuri.
You know, I just realized.
What's that?
I have a bias for Slipknot. The fucking guitarist Mick Thompson, dude.
Which number is he?
Number 7.
Hey.
And he's got a tattoo on his arm.
Oh, that's dope. I'm actually planning on getting a Girls' Generation tattoo on my knee.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it once everything opens and I get that money. So
what's weird is like when it comes to Slipknot, I know about that interpersonal stuff too, but I wouldn't say it's what I looked for,
right?
Or what I like was super interested in. But just the fact that you find that in any group of like, whenever you're a fan of some group,
Right.
and you start like really digging into like interviews
Right.
or like stuff off stage.
That was definitely me. Yeah.
You start trying to like make these narratives for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this person and this person are closer than the other people.
Right. And honestly, I feel like with Tiffany, I really did get lucky because when I've been a fan from her since the beginning. That when Girls' Generation, the song came out by Girls' Generation, my eye immediately went to her.
She's the hottest one.
Yeah, and yeah,
Fight me.
yeah, fight me. But yeah, my eye immediately went towards her.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I started paying attention to the group, the more I started to kind of realize that Yuri and Jessica could both possibly be my bias breakers.
Mm-hmm.
More Yuri than Jessica, to be honest, because I feel like as a bias and as a person, I want to live like Tiffany. No, like in all seriousness, I want to. She's so hardworking, she's so caring, she's so passionate, and she's so open, and she puts her heart on her sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so sensitive. And whenever she hears something sad, she will literally tear up. And it's like the most heartwarming thing you could ever witness. And with Yuri, I don't know, dude. I love her, but she's kind of a dumbass. In a sense that she's super lazy. Out of everyone in the group, she used to get shit on so much for being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
But she really wasn't. She wasn't lazy. She just portrayed...
Just comparatively?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or do you feel like that was a role she had to play?
To be honest, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going to be a money-making business in the business of idol groups...
Right.
Your main bread and butter is... how are the fans going to react? That's
Right.
why they're not allowed to have girlfriends or boyfriends.
Right,
Or they're
yeah.
not allowed to just fuck off and go on vacation for a little bit, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, if I'm a smart...
Businessman.
yeah, in that industry,
Right.
I'm going to know that, oh, we get our money from the fans. The fans are good. The fans have this, like, tendency to, like... They have the craving
Right.
for different roles to be filled.
Right.
They have the lazy one, they have the leader, they have blah, blah, XYZ, right?
Right.
So it makes sense that, like, of all these girls, we're going to get to know them. And personality-wise, this one seems to be the most close to fill this role.
Right.
Let's have her be the lazy one.
Right. But honestly, even in variety shows, she was super athletic. She was one of the fastest runners. She was one of the most flexible. And she was super bubbly. And I feel like... What's up?
Well, lazy doesn't necessarily mean untalented.
Well, okay, yeah, you're right.
If anything,
you're right.
they're probably more talented because they're like, they can skate by
Right.
and not have to, like, put too much effort.
That's true. I feel like the true lazy one was actually Jessica. And it showed in... There's a scene in I Got a Boy, the actual music video, that they do a hair flip thing.
Yeah.
And if you look to your right, Jessica doesn't even do it. But anyway.
I love how you get so detailed with this stuff. I'm like, at minute 3.52, you look on the right screen.
I spent 10 years of my life with them, dude. 10 years! Of course.
Damn.
I'm still... till this day, I'm still waiting for a comeback. I know it's not gonna happen, but when Little Touch came out and it was just the 5 members, that was when I was like, you know, Hyoyeon and Yuri kind of got it going on. Like, yeah. And anyway, that's
Imagine having to learn all these people's names. Like, there's this, remember that meme? So there's this meme I saw where it's like a bunch of different colored stormtroopers.
Oh my god.
And like, it's like K-pop fans be like, oh my god, which one's cuter?
Yeah.
It's like they all look the same. They're all cute Asian girls.
They're all really cute. But Anyway, going back to the bias breaker thing, I feel like so your bias is either I don't know for you, but definitely for me, it kind of it rings a bell where your bias is the person you strive to be.
Okay.
And your bias breaker is the girl you would actually kind of go for. And it kind of is true in a sense that I typically go for bubbly, taller girls.
Mm.
And Tiffany is someone I actually want to strive to be.
Mm-hmm.
And going back to Twice...
This is getting deep.
Hell yeah. And going back to Twice, I don't really know Twice that well. But Gio is definitely the person I strive to be. Just to be like a straight up badass that power lifts.
Yeah.
And Chewy is kind of the tall, bubbly girl I look for.
Just kidding. I'm sorry.
Chewy and Mina are the bubbly girls that I would want to go for.
Yeah, see, I think with dudes, at least the dudes I know that are into K-pop, it's purely about like visuals.
Yeah, because Sunny and Sooyoung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
Would you say Sooyoung is your bias breaker?
Yeah.
And Sunny's your bias?
Yeah.
What made you pick Sunny? Or how did you come to the decision of picking Sunny as your bias? And why Sooyoung as your breaker?
Literally just picturing like which one would I want to like spend time with.
Oh.
Or like which one would I like
enjoy
would find
having
the most...
on my arm the most.
Yeah, pretty much. Like which one would I find the cutest?
Gotcha.
And not get tired of looking at. That's a big one.
Definitely, Sunny.
Because every member has like one or two music videos where like they look fucking great, like above everyone else or something. But like,
right. Sunny's the one that stayed consistent.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about like what dudes look for, like.
Enlighten me.
Just
what
trait
do dudes
wise.
look for?
Well, like, so I had one friend who his was hard. He's a hardcore Yuna fanboy.
Oh, I can see that though.
Which I get. To me personally, I'm like it's a bit too thin.
Yeah.
A bit too like.
I can definitely see the appeal of. I can see all the appeal of all 9 members. Mainly Tiffany, but I can see all the appeal. But keep going. Sorry.
So. For me, I mean, similar to how you like Gio's smile, right? That's the thing that like pops out.
Yeah, she has chef's kiss, dude. She genuinely has the brightest smile. Her and Tiffany have the best smiles. Yeah, anyway. So, I digress.
It's like everything's like, I love these guys.
I do, bro! K-pop's like my trigger.
But, similar to how you were about Gia's smile, like, seeing Sunny's smile to me was like, so it does something to me, like, my reptile brain is just like, I'd like to see that every day.
Aww.
You know?
That's so gay.
It's pretty gay and also not gay at all.
Oh yeah, that's the most hetero thing I've ever heard you say in my life.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to think I say a lot of hetero stuff.
No, you do. I just wanted to prove them. Shut up! I'm proving a point.
Yeah. But like, I mean choreography too.
Right.
There's a certain like sass or a certain like just pop to like their moves. Both of them, Sunny and Sooyoung. That's like
they're both amazing dancers.
Especially like in Hoot, Sooyoung in Hoot is like it's those dance moves just like fit her in a certain way to me.
Yeah. No, I see that.
Mm-hmm. And another thing too is like when Sunny does have that smile, like whenever the camera's panned on her, there's this like sense of like she knows something that you don't know. Like she's in on a joke that you don't know. Which is kind of like, it's almost like that same thing of like, how do I say this without sounding hella?
Just say it.
Step on me, Sunny. That's what I'm trying to say. I want her to step on me.
If I go to Japan and I see you, please roofie me.
Like that. Man. Can you imagine? Just partying hard in Tokyo,
Dude, I feel like
catching a flight to Seoul, and then partying harder over there.
Dude, I feel like the perfect group you would want to party with is Mamamoo.
They seem like they have a fun time every single time
They're
I see
my
them.
favorite alcoholics, dude. Honestly, if you could...
Everyone in Korea is an alcoholic.
Oh yeah, they are. Sunny was the biggest alcoholic in Girls' Generation. It was her and Tiffany.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm just like, she knows something, bro.
Yeah.
She has that smile of like, I'm not telling you.
I might be drunk. I don't know.
I could get drunker.
Right? Her, Tiffany, and Yuri were the biggest alcoholics in the group.
Tiffany's got that American side of like, let's drink, son.
Right? Yeah. No, but if in a way, Mamamoo is kind of the K-On of the K-pop industry.
Because they're such close friends. Kinda.
Yeah, in a sense that they're all such close friends that I know Wasa and Wien, when they went to high school, they were both basically tied to the hip of, or they both grew up in the same hometown, and they both wanted to be in a group.
Yeah.
And
they basically were a package deal, kind of.
Yeah, they were. And whenever they did individual performances, they would always get shit on. But whenever they did things together, they always get praised. And when they joined JYP, I don't really know. Like, I could be talking out of my ass, but JYP saw.
Isn't that what all K-pop fans do?
Oh yeah, damn near. Yeah. I'm a conspiracy K-pop theorist, okay? But JYP saw the chemistry. Thank you.
K-pop conspiracy theorist. There's not that many of you guys, I don't think.
No, there isn't. I know, bro. When Jessica left Girls' Generation, my Tumblr feed exploded.
Oh my god.
It exploded. There were so many theories to why she left. But anyway, for damn near a whole week, there was always something new on Tumblr.
Were there like fans of being like, I never liked her anyways?
Yeah! There were so many people that hated her. And there were so many people that were just like, Jessica, please come back. Mm-hmm. And then so many people were like, I knew I didn't like you for a reason. And like the people that
Snake.
Yeah! And the people that basically worshipped the ground she walked on turned on her, dude. And I was like, ooh. You Judas! Ride or die, son! But...
That's kind of similar to how I see like League of Legends pro teams.
Yeah!
Like one person will just get traded out and like, they were never good. They were only good when they were part of this team.
The day Faker stops being an SKT member.
Oh, dude, I think he's like a shareholder now. Like,
really?
Like he has like, anyway, we don't have to talk about League of Legends stuff, but like, yeah, he's high up there.
Well, yeah,
he's a god, anyways. So
that guy is an athlete.
I can't move my fingers like him.
Dude, I don't think anyone can. But yeah, like after Tumblr exploded like that, I kind of just had to take like a month off because there was so much negativity going on about Jessica that I never actually gave myself some time to be sad about her leaving until I saw the Girls' Generation Into the New World ballad performance
where she wasn't there.
Yeah, and these fuckers left a spot in the middle, an empty space, and that was the first, well, not the first time, but everyone was crying. Sunny was crying, Yuna was crying, Tiffany was crying, and Tiffany never cries.
So let's walk down the path. Like, why did she leave? What was the main reasoning?
It was, the biggest speculation was because she wanted to start her own company. But since she was still under SM Town, they wouldn't let her do it.
So that's like the most realistic speculation.
Yeah.
What's the official stance? Like, did they make any official announcement?
No, they didn't. After she left, the group never talked about her. Dang. Yeah. They're
probably under contract, like, don't talk about it.
Yeah, they probably are. That's the biggest speculation. Even to this day, Tiffany, Sooyoung, and Seoyeon, the three members that left after their contract ended, they still never talk about Jessica. And on I could be wrong, but when Jessica left, they deleted all of the pictures they had with her.
What? Like the
Yeah.
members did it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
And they unfollowed her on all their social platforms.
Yo.
Either unfollowed, but I have a feeling it's blocked.
Yo.
Yeah. And this was after...
What the hell?
This was after they sang Divine and Indestructible when they were doing their Japan tour. And it was basically just telling... Honestly, it was probably a goodbye song. Because Indestructible was basically saying that we have an unbreakable bond. And Divine was just kind of this wholesome song. And... Bro, that just hit so hard.
So on the surface, they're like, we're sad she's going. They're crying during a live performance. They write songs about, like, our bond will never be broken.
Right.
But then, like, on a social media sense, they're blocking each other. They're not talking about it. They're refusing to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of see, like, what's the actual truth.
Yeah. But honestly...
Am I a conspiracy theorist now?
No, they are on contract.
To not talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is also conspiracy theorist, but a 99.9% sure that they are under contract, and that is why they can't say anything about it, and they still are under contract.
What if, like, she was getting abused?
That was also one of the valid reasons that their manager was, like, doing shit. Mm-hmm. And
she wanted out. She's like,
yeah, she wanted out.
Yeah.
Because in the K-pop industry, it's brutal. Women get harassed. They get called ugly. They get called fat. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even be surprised if she wanted to walk away from that. I mean, like, bless their souls, dude. But Jonghyun and Soli, they...
From FFX?
Yeah. Soli couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't handle it.
Right.
That everyone was calling her fat. There was just so much hate towards her. And Jonghyun was just tired. And they never get a break. And you would think that after SM Town lost two of their big money makers, they would change, but they haven't.
So would you agree though if I said that, like, there's obviously a problem with the whole fandom thing, where, like, their love for these they have these idols that they picture in their head.
Right.
They put them on such a high pedestal. Right. To the point where they're not even humans anymore. Right. And they're just in love with that image in their head. Right. To the point where, like, they can't even live normal lives. They can't. Yeah. Maybe not even normal lives. They can't live, like, a proper existence because everything they do is only for the dollar of their fans.
Yes. That's why I was so happy. So happy when Tiffany finally walked away from SM Town. Because after she walked away from SM Town, she still had a decent following.
She could tour in the States and everything.
Yeah, she's touring in the States. But she was, like, a completely different person after that.
I didn't really like the first song she came out with solo. But almost everything else I heard. What was it? Do you remember the first song you showed me?
Born Again?
Must have been, because I don't remember, like, talking about it. But, like, after that, Lips on Lips, Magnetic Moon, like, just bangers after bangers.
Dude, right? Like, she's thriving. Thriving! And she's a mental health advocate now. She's all about self-care. And, dude, I have never seen her so happy. And there was a time where she unplugged from social media for a month, and she immediately came back. And she told her fans that she was doing some self-care, and she was just doing her. And when I saw that on her story, I was so happy. 'Cause, like, when she was in Girls' Generation, she looked like she wasn't taking care of herself. Like,
I feel like I got a new perspective on idols when she came out with that song that's just, I Just Want to Dance.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to dance the night away. Like,
right.
I really started to see, like, oh, like, they find this is their passion, is, like, just performing. You know, like, there's a certain pleasure you get from being able to dance, like,
Right.
Like you know that you have such control over your body. You can make
Right.
these like really graceful movements.
Right.
You can express yourself in this really beautiful way. And the whole time you're getting paid to do it. It's like, of course that'd be anyone's dream if that's what they're doing.
Right. Exactly.
And like, I just interpret it as like all this drama of her going solo or like all the stuff
Yeah.
with the members, like when Jessica had left to begin with.
Right.
Like I can just imagine like there's like infighting with like the management team, and the whole time she's just thinking, I just want to fucking dance, dude. Like
Yeah.
that's what I signed up for, man.
Right. That's why I signed away 10 years of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What I'm training for to get better at this craft,
Right.
to show
right.
that I have the ability to do it
Right.
better than anyone.
Right. And honestly, I will continually support Tiffany, dude.
I mean, you don't get signed on to a group, especially as big as SNSD, like
Yeah.
without having a certain amount of competitiveness
Right.
and like willpower to like, I'm
Right.
gonna be the best, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's
Exactly.
what I look around this hall and all I see is a bunch of basic skinny bitches.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why everyone was surprised when Jessica left, because she trained the longest.
Mm.
She trained for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
She trained for 7 years before she actually debuted. Tiffany and I think Sunny were the ones that trained the least.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tiffany was the member that trained the least. She trained for like a year and a half and then debuted.
Damn.
Yeah.
All those girls like putting in their 12 years in, they're just like, this fucking bitch.
Right? Right? My heart goes out to Gio, dude. She trained for 10 years. And like for her to get all that hate when she debuted, she didn't deserve that. She really didn't. That community is so brutal.
There's a toxicity.
Yeah. So I actually watched this YouTube video of Miss Korea. It's either 2018 or 2019.
Mm-hmm.
That when she got when she was announced as Miss Korea,
Who?
she got, I can't remember her name.
Okay.
But she got so much hate that like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, she weighed like 130 pounds.
People were calling her fat.
Yeah, they were calling her fat for being 5'8" and 130 pounds.
I just imagine like hardcore K-pop stans is like, if she don't look like a Auschwitz survivor, it's not hot.
Dude, right? If she doesn't look like Yuna, you're immediately not hot.
I want to see rib cage.
Ugh.
I want to see like the gaunt cheekbones.
Their standard of beauty is not ideal.
How come you're only throwing up twice a day and not 3 times a day?
Oh God, that's horrible.
That's the kind of pressure that they have to live with.
That is like, God, it gets me so heated that like, I cannot believe that you would go and say that this person is really, really pretty and then just go ahead and bash on how ugly they are as soon as they gain weight.
It's kind of unrelated, but I just remember seeing this video of this Filipino dude who was like hardcore, super into Korean everything, like everything K-wave.
Right.
Like he made a video of like him talking about his favorite group and that he's just like casually eating japchae.
Yeah.
But it's really just Filipino spaghetti.
Right.
But he's calling it japchae. He's eating it with chopsticks.
Oh my God.
It's the funniest. Just like imagine like hardcore weeaboo.
The balls for you to do something like that, mad respect, dude.
It's just like the instant noodle from the Philippines.
Right.
And it's like, oh, it's japchae.
Mad respect to that guy, because I wouldn't have the balls to do that.
The appeal of K-pop that I've seen is that it provides a certain escape
Yeah, it
from the
definitely
day-to-day
does.
bullshit.
It definitely does. I have used K-pop to kind of manipulate my mood.
Right.
That-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I get really sad,
Mm-hmm.
Fancy is my new go-to song now.
Mm-hmm.
And Feel Special by Twice, and they're just so wholesome, and they're a really good group, and that's how I feel about SNSD too. And now that
Oh, so what's a bad group? What does a bad group look like?
I don't know.
Okay. What does like an average group look like? The choreography, does there like no synergy or like the songs are just generic?
I feel like there was this group that I kind of got into, but not, I immediately fell out of. It was called Kara.
Okay, yeah.
I got into them because Yuri and Hyoyeon was part of this variety show called Invincible Youth, and she was one of the members on there, or one of the members in Kara. Oh, her name was Guhara. She was in one of the members. She was in that variety show with Girls' Generation.
Okay.
And I started getting into them, but I've come to find out that I only liked a few of their songs, and I think it was called Mister.
Okay.
That was like my number one favorite one, and then they kind of just died off after they stopped doing the variety show with Girls' Generation. And I mean, also you can argue the fact that this was when Girls' Generation and other groups were at their prime. That this was around the time Girls' Generation was still climbing, FX was still climbing, Sistar was still climbing, and then
I remember Sistar. Oh
dude,
are they still around or what? What's the deal?
Hyolyn has a solo career.
Oh right. Okay.
Soyu has she started doing dramas, and I think Bora's just straight up chilling. And
got that money, got out, son.
Yeah, dude. And then I want to say that their fourth member Dasom went back to school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and yeah, like after they broke up, they just went their separate ways. And after Kara, I didn't even know that Kara had like members replaced and stuff like that. But I feel like they were kind of just an average group.
Yeah.
And
so like if the songs aren't there,
yeah,
then there's really no helping.
Yeah,
you.
Yeah.
Even if you have the cute girls, you have the choreography.
Yeah.
Yeah. You even have the spot alongside Girls' Generation on a variety show.
Yeah.
Which probably helps a lot.
Yeah. But
the songs aren't there.
Right. And you're probably gonna hate me, but AOA too. They're pretty average for me.
Yeah, I could see that. I appreciate that they have a certain sound where it's like, oh, that sounds like AOA.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of K-pop groups that I feel like they don't have that sound that you can just hear it and know right away who it is.
Right. But
AOA has a certain like arrangement style that they do.
Right. And also I feel like even if you're in a group, nowadays there are so many K-pop groups that it's hard for you to stand. Yeah, it's really hard for you to stand out. And one of the reasons why I feel like Girls' Generation got really popular was because back then the K-pop industry was just very male dominated.
For boy groups, you mean?
Yeah. They were just boy groups in general. And
oh yeah, I could see that. Because when people talk about girl groups, like they only talk about certain names.
Yeah. And now that Girls' Generation has stepped down, you hear more girl groups too. Like you hear Mamamoo, you hear Blackpink,
storm, dude.
Yeah, Blackpink and Twice, and Luna. They've all just been thriving, and honestly, not a lot of people give them credit, but Wonder Girls had a lot to do with that.
I feel like Wonder Girls is the first group that people heard.
Yeah, they toured with the Jonas Brothers, dude.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, they opened for them, and like very consistently, and people. I feel like people forget that.
I just remember like hanging around in the Philippines, like around my neighbors, and like this one like tatang, just like older dude,
right,
with like wife beaters, just like taking care of his chicken and shit.
Right,
and, like his phone rings and it's literally just I want nobody but you. And you're like, just like, what is that? Is that the K-pop group? I didn't know. There wasn't even. We didn't even know what to call it yet. It wasn't even like K-pop. It was just like, that's that
Korean group.
We didn't even know who it was. It was just like that's that like that.
That's the Nobody song, right?
Yeah, it's the Nobody song exactly.
Yeah.
That's how we knew it. It was just like that's the ringtone you always hear.
Oh God.
You would hear like cheap versions of it,
Yeah.
like just like 8-bit versions of it.
Yeah. Honestly, no one gives them enough credit, and I feel like Wonder Girls, they did a lot for K-pop.
Brown Eyed Girls, do you remember them?
Yeah.
That's some old school names. I feel like now.
Gia, oh, and Jay, Narsha, bro, Narsha, come on now. How can you not like Narsha? But it's like those older, and 2NE1 too. Definitely 2NE1.
That's one that I'd see that a lot. Like a lot of people like talk
Yeah.
about them.
When
Is
2NE1
2NE1 girls or boys?
girls,
Okay.
4 girls, and I think the appeal for 2NE1 too, or one of the many appeals, was that they had a Korean girl that was half Filipino. So she was like the first non-full Korean
Oh, okay.
in the group.
She like paved the way for
Yeah, she
Lisa
paved.
and...
Yeah, you're welcome, Blackpink.
Well, I appreciate you schooling me on K-pop culture.
Yeah, dude, no problem.
I think it's really insightful because as a casual, you know, like coming into it from a metalhead's point of view,
Right.
it's a lot more it's a lot more helpful when someone who has been paying attention to that genre way longer,
Right.
like comments on it and everything.
The last 13 years of my life just been dedicated to K-pop.
Yep. For good reason too, I'd say.
Oh, thank you.
I'm starting to get into it more now.
Thank you. And thank you for the listeners for listening to this podcast episode and for a previous and for a future.
Shoots.